Okay, well, let's leave hardware behind for a while and talk about squishyware, human interaction. What is the best tip for designing a customer experience? Well, according to author Annette France, how about pretending you're a human? That's right, when you think about it, right? For some reason, once we walk through the doors of our company, we often forget that we are humans, that we work for humans, that our customers on this planet anyway are humans, that it's impatient, busy, harried, sometimes disgruntled humans that make contact with our customer service process, and they don't like it when that customer service process isn't customer friendly, or so that they don't feel like they're dealing with a human being as opposed to a robot. And I think we get so caught up in developing a process, designing a process, regardless of whether it's a service process or a manufacturing process or an engineering process, that the process itself becomes the end-all and the be-all. And rather than the humans it is supposed to serve, it serves itself. And I can tell you that as an engineer, I often got caught up in slick, clever design and forgot that a human out on the shop floor or an end user had to actually use my design. They had to use it. And I can tell you that it doesn't matter what amount of technical wizardry goes into a design. If the experience of using your design sucks, your design sucks. It doesn't matter if it's hardware or software or humanware, squishyware, whatever you want to call it. If the product itself, if the service itself isn't user-friendly, isn't human-friendly, people are not going to like using it, and you're going to lose business. They're going to stop buying your product, or they're going to stop using your service. So we have to think like humans. And France gives 3 suggestions to help put a human lens back into your customer service, into the way you look at your customers. Really common sense stuff. First, listen. Don't just ask the customers about the experience. Listen to what they have to say, says France. There are a lot of different ways for customers to tell you about their needs and their desired outcomes and how well you are performing against their expectations. Understanding these expectations and identifying key drivers of a great customer experience is an important result of listening, actually hearing what they have to say. Number 2, characterize. Characterize your customer. You need research on your customers. You need to identify the jobs that they are trying to do. Compile profiles or personas. I call them profiles, France calls them personas, that represent the various types of prospects and customers who might buy from you or who use your products or services. For instance, as an example, an end user of your product, let's say a physical product, an end user has a different expectation when dealing with customer service than the retailer that stocks your item. So, think about it. Very often retailers may have to call back to the corporate office or the supplier and have questions on that product. What they're looking for and the way they're dealt with is different than if an end user, the person who's actually purchased the product, how they want and expect to be dealt with when they call customer service. 2 different needs. You can't deal with everybody in exactly the same way. So develop personas. Finally, you need to empathize. France suggests that you walk in your customer's shoes to get a clear understanding of the steps they take to do whatever job it is they are trying to do with your organization. Map their journeys. France talks about creating a customer journey map a lot. Map their journey to understand the current state of the user process, the user experience. And the idea behind that is actually run through the process yourself as a blank slate, or get somebody from your company who isn't familiar with the process and have them run through that process or use that product or call customer service and see what their experience is like and have them report back to you. That gives you an idea of what that journey is like. Now, I can think of an example we all can relate to. Think of the interminable phone trees where you call customer support, you get an automated system, an automated answering system, which is fine, and that gives you option after option after option after option. It feels like you're pushing buttons for 5 minutes, and they ask you for all sorts of information that you key in, your last 4 digits of your social, your day of birth, the number of your address, how many kids you have, and they do this level after level, and you're drilling down, which is great for them to gather information, but after 5 minutes of punching buttons, you finally get to a human who asks you, usually in a monotonic robotic voice, exactly the same questions. So that is kind of an example of how you don't want to do customer service. You want to talk people through it. You want them to understand that they're talking to a human, and that they understand, that you understand the process can be tedious, but sometimes you have to get it done. But how can you do it in a way that works for everybody?